doing a special show that affects teens and to show them the harsh realities of drugs, abuse, violence, and teen pregnancies. You stopped going to school as a result of this video?
Yes.
The girl that you fought, she posted this on YouTube and Facebook.
And she can't handle it by talking to a fight.
We have a mom that teaches her daughter violence is the way to solve problems.
I was 15 years old. Me, pregnant? Honestly, I was worried about that. I can't get pregnant. That couldn't happen to me.
What would you like to say to all these young girls?
So I had an exact period.
And Crystal, how old are you?
I'm 17. My son is 3 years old.
So you were 14 when you had a baby? How many of you girls out there know of a teen girl that is sexually active? Oh, Jesus. These days, teens spend more and more time on social networking sites such as MySpace and Facebook. As a result, 1 in 3 teens are victims of cyberbullying. Teens are less likely to report instances of online abuse. 14 teenagers in the United States have committed suicide because of cyberbullying. My next guest is a 15-year-old, April, who no longer goes to school because of this. April, tell us what happened.
Okay, me and the girl, we used to be like real close friends or whatever. And I don't really know why we're not friends anymore. But it's like me and her got into a fist fight or whatever, and she put it on YouTube, and it's like people at school harassing me about it, and you know, they're picking on me and stuff, so I just don't go to school anymore.
And you saw this video?
Yes, sir.
And when you watched it, how did you feel when you were watching it?
I felt embarrassed because that's not my character to fight at all.
Were you defending yourself, or?
Yes, sir.
I mean, you didn't start the fight, right?
No, sir.
And so you're embarrassed by this video being posted on YouTube and Facebook.
Yes.
Has people that you know seen this video?
Yes.
And what do they say to you?
I mean, they tell me don't worry about it. It's not that serious, but to me it is serious because it's affecting my schoolwork and stuff like that.
Are you saying people are bullying you and harassing you because of this video?
Yes.
And why would they be doing that?
I don't know. It's her friends, though.
It's the girl that you fought's friends?
Yeah.
And April, how old are you?
15.
15 years old. Are you okay with watching the clip?
I don't care. It's okay.
I mean, April, what we want to do is help teenage girls today. And by you being here and sharing your story, maybe we can stop whatever happened to you, stopping to another girl. And I'm glad that you're brave enough to be here, and we'll take a look at this clip. And which girl are you?
I have the brown boots on.
Okay.
And that's my grandmother in the middle trying
Your
to...
grandmother's trying to break up the fight.
Yeah, she ended up hitting my grandmother like 3 or 4 times. And my grandmother had, she had to get checked out for it because, my grandmother, she's real sick.
And who's this other woman that joins?
It's her.
So she tried to break it up though too.
Yeah.
It looks like. And she's obviously there declaring herself the winner of this fight. And you haven't been in school for 2 weeks because of this incident.
Pretty much.
And because you're kind of embarrassed about this videotape.
Yeah.
Well, April, what I want to do is I want to talk to the girl that you had a confrontation with, and I'm going to ask you to leave the stage. I'm going to talk to her, and I'll bring you back out.
Okay.
You can go right on here. Let's bring out the other girl in that videotape, the girl who posted on YouTube and Facebook. Her name is Letitia. She's also 15 years old. Let's bring her out. How you doing, Letitia?
Fine.
April comes on the show. She says that guys got into a fight, that you guys used to be friends. Did you used to be friends with April?
Associates.
Associates. When I was a teenager, I wasn't associates with anybody. I was friends with somebody, and I wasn't friends with somebody. So you kind of knew her? Did you like her at one time?
Mhm.
And what made you change where you didn't like her anymore?
Cause she came down the street with an attitude, and she walked right past us without saying hey, and then we like, what's wrong with you or whatever, and then she be acting funny.
And that led to you guys getting into a fight?
That led to her when she walked back home. She went on Facebook and said something about her not liking 3 girls, which we already knew who it was.
What did you actually, in that videotape where you guys are swinging on each other, what caused that fight?
Because we was on the bus, and I was talking to my friend, and I said, do you smell that? She got to her bus stop and started walking out the bus, and she said something to me, and I got off and started fighting her.
And do you, Letitia, not see anything wrong with this?
No, not really.
So now that you don't like her,
Because
then
if-
it's okay that people pick on her.
Yeah, because I don't care.
Okay, but you posted it though.
So I can look at it.
Whoever's back there, shut your mouth until I'm ready for you.
If she can't handle it by talking to him, fight.
Me pregnant? I did. Honestly, I was one of the girls that said, oh, I can't get pregnant. That couldn't happen to me.
I think if you go through this life and you fight everybody with an attitude, you're going to be the heavyweight champion of the world. Because all you're going to be doing is fighting people all the time. I mean, seriously, think about it. You got in a fight because of a snide comment or because some girl was walking down the street and she had attitude?
No, that had been going on for a whole bunch of weeks of her talking. And as y'all see, she ain't mentioned that her and her friend tried to jump me at school.
Well, no, she didn't mention that. Are you saying that's what happened? She tried to
Yes.
jump you? And why would she try to jump you?
Because her friend asked me why didn't I like her. And I started telling her why, then her friend started getting hyped trying to fight me. And then, so we was finna fight at school, and then both of them sitting there trying to fight me.
Did you get into a fight?
No, my friends was holding me back because they weren't finna let
They
me.
were holding you back.
Yep.
So it doesn't sound like anybody was trying to jump you.
Yes, they was. They
Had to hold you back.
They was holding me back from me going over there to them so they can jump me. Both of them was fussing at me.
If you know you're going to be jumped, why do they got to hold you back? Wouldn't you be smart enough to say, I'm not going over there? Whatever the case may be, and I'm not saying, I don't know what happened because April tells a story and you tell a story.
April tell lies.
Did the video line about the fight that the two of you had,
Did it what?
did you post that video?
No, somebody on the bus posted it.
Somebody posted it on the bus.
Yes.
So
That's why
it wasn't
y'all
you.
seen it, the bus riding past.
It's your Facebook page has the fight on your Facebook
Yeah,
page.
because somebody sent it to me.
Okay, but you posted it though.
So I can look at it.
And then you wrote down, hell yeah, I got her.
I sure enough did.
I know I did. Go me, go me. You know, you say, yeah, these other girls that were going to jump, you know, you can beat them up. What if some stranger walks down the street and gives you attitude? You're going to fight them?
Mm-hmm.
Really? How about if a man walks down the street and gives you attitude? You're going to beat him up too?
I fight boys too.
You fight boys too? Ooh! I mean, what are you going to fight the whole audience?
No.
You know, I think young people, you forget, like when you start doing stuff like this on Facebook, on YouTube, it's kind of like out there forever. And if you want to make anything with your life, what if you wanted to come work for me someday? And I don't know whether you would or not. Maybe you don't like me. I don't care. The point is, maybe there's going to be somebody else that you're going to want to work for someday. Do something with your life. And they're going to say, are you crazy? Why would I hire you? Or a college maybe you want to get into someday to further your education. What person on a college acceptance board is going to say, this is a fine young candidate to attend our school? Maybe she'll go around and beat up the faculty.
No, I don't do that.
You don't do that.
No.
You just fight strange men and strange women on the street that'll give you attitude.
No, I don't.
You said that yourself. I asked you.
No, you said,
Would you fight someone? You said, yeah, I fight boys too.
yeah, just depends on, it depends on
What could I do on the stage and you'd get mad and give me a smack?
something I don't like.
What don't you like? How about if I developed an attitude with you? How about if I didn't like you? How about if I said I don't like 15-year-olds that go around beating up people for no good reason at all? I'm giving you attitude right now as best as I can. Are you going to give me a crack?
I don't bother.
You're not bothered?
Nope,
Why is that?
because I don't care.
You don't care.
No.
Well, why don't you use that attitude that you just said, I don't care, through your whole life and not let anybody bother you and don't fight?
I don't do that.
So what's going to happen with April then?
What do you mean?
I mean, you don't like her. You posted a video on your site about you're kicking her ass. She's here today because she's saying she's afraid to go to school, that your friends are
that's a
harassing
lie.
her, she's embarrassed. Why would you come on the show and lie about that?
No,
Just talking to her, you can see where she's a little bit embarrassed.
No, April, she just lying. And she had been getting messed with at school. And I used to tell them to stop when me and her was cool. And then she tried to say that I got them to do all of that, but they didn't like her.
So now that you don't like her,
Because
then it's okay that people pick on her.
Yeah, because I don't care.
Are you not listening?
I'm telling you.
Maybe that's part of the problem. A run. Yeah. We're here to try to solve a problem between two teenagers. We have a parent that's not taking any responsibility for raising her 15-year-old.
You do not
And
know the
teaches
whole
her violence
story.
is
You
the
do not
way
know the whole
to solve
story.
problems.
I was 15 years old. Me, pregnant. Honestly, I was one of the girls that said, oh, I can't get pregnant. That couldn't happen to me.
How many of you girls out there know of a teen girl that is sexually active? Oh, Jesus. So now that you don't like her,
Because
then
if-
it's okay that people pick on her.
Yeah, because I don't care.
That's a great attitude. We'll let somebody be picked on because I don't care. Maybe that's how we should all, somebody else's, whoever's back there, shut your mouth until I'm ready for you. The fact of the matter is, you'll come out when I ask you to come out. And if you cannot control yourself, just like your daughter, I can see where it's coming from now. Then maybe we'll just ask you to leave the studio so I don't have to hear you yelling. So try to show a little bit of self-control, and then maybe your daughter can learn from you. So you know what? Honestly, Letitia, you're 15 years old. You learn from whoever your parents are. They're supposed to be a moral compass in your life. They're supposed to give you some guidance. I obviously see the guidance you're getting. So let's bring that guidance out and maybe she can tell me. How you doing, Latricia?
I'm fine. I raised my daughter. I sent my daughter to school, and I told her if somebody do something to her, to fight. Okay, she came
You
out-
said if somebody does something to you, to fight.
No, if anybody hit my daughter, I taught her how to fight.
The girl
Because
didn't
kids-
hit her.
Okay, but kids right now, when they fight, they have to fight back where I live at.
So I tell my little girl, you know, if somebody does something to you, start fighting.
If she can't handle it by talking to him, fight. If she got to fight, ain't no two people gonna ever jump on my daughter. Okay, her and her friend tried to jump on my
Do
daughter.
you listen to the story,
Her-
Mom?
Yes, I
Are
did.
you listening
Yes,
to
I
the
did.
story?
Yes, I did.
They have to hold your
Yes, I
daughter
did.
back because she wants
Yes, I
to
did.
kick the people's ass.
Every day this girl used to come to my house. Okay, it's really not my daughter who she really pissed off with. I don't know why they didn't tell you the whole story. It's other people that's supposed to be here, but they didn't
You know
want to
what?
come.
Do we really need to know the whole story here?
Yes, you do.
Do
If
we
you're
need to
talking
know the
about
whole
it.
story?
Yes, you do.
How about,
If you're talking
how about
about it.
having 15-year-old girls not fight? How about simple as that? Don't fight. Don't
Well,
put
if
your
it's
hands
my
on
daughter,
anybody.
If it's my daughter, if somebody hit her, damn it, she gonna hit them back.
I think people should defend themselves
That's
if they're
right,
being
and that's
attacked.
what she gonna do.
But that doesn't sound like the story here.
Well, you just didn't understand
Are
the
you
story.
listening to your daughter?
Yes, I am.
Speak up here.
Yes, I am.
Do you hear
Yes,
about
I
your
am.
daughter?
And
Somebody
yesterday
gives her.
she did not go to the
and
girl house.
somebody daughter attitude, she's going to take care of business?
No,
what
if
the hell
somebody
is that?
hit her. No, if somebody hit her.
I'm hearing it straight
No,
from her mouth.
but I'm telling
Are you
you.
not listening?
I'm telling you.
Maybe that's part of the problem. Oh, run. Yeah. You know, that's probably part of the problem with your daughter.
Okay,
is
Steve,
that
I really don't have
parent
anything
that
else
you
to
don't
say.
want to take any
Okay,
responsibility
I don't have anything else to say
for your
because there's
daughter.
other people that's involved, and you talking about my daughter,
Yes, I'm
making it
talking
seem like
to your
she's
daughter.
a bully. My daughter
Well,
is not
you know
a
what?
bully.
You're raising your
My
daughter in the wrong way
No,
because
you
of
don't
behavior
tell
and
me
the
how to
things
raise
that
my
you
daughter.
respond.
You don't tell me how
you
to
know
raise my
what?
daughter.
I'm not going to tell you how
Okay,
to
well,
raise your
good night.
daughter. Oh, so that's what you're doing. You run off stage. You want to come out and say
can somebody
something,
take this
but
off
then
me?
when somebody says something
Okay, well, you
to
talk
try
to
to
me,
teach
you talk to me about my daughter. Don't you tell me how I raise my
I'm not
daughter.
telling you. I'm saying listen to your daughter, and that's part of the problem.
well, that's-
you know
well,
why
that's
we
part
have
of the problem.
teenagers? You know why we have
Why?
teenagers
Why?
messed up?
Why?
Because parents
If it
don't
was
listen.
your daughter or your
Parents
son,
don't
okay,
listen.
if it was your
You're
daughter,
here
your
and your
son,
daughter.
somebody
You
touch
see
my
that
daughter, she gonna touch them
videotape.
back.
You see the videotape where your
Okay.
daughter's
Did you
fighting
see-
that
okay,
girl.
did you see her run
She's
off stage to
starting
my
it.
daughter?
No, I saw women trying to break it up.
Okay, whatever.
Okay, you did not see the whole thing.
Young lady, I'm
You did
talking
not
to
see
your
the whole
mother
thing. I
right
don't
now.
care. You did not
Yeah.
see the whole thing.
You know what? You
And you
run.
don't know the
Run
whole
from the
story.
problem. See how your daughter talks to people?
Okay.
This is how your 15-year-old child talks to people. That's okay. Your daughter could talk to adults that way.
Get that camera out my face.
No, this is the Steve Wilkos show, and you happen to be at it. So the cameras will roll. Yeah, you know what? That's great. We're here to try to solve a problem between two teenagers, and you want to take it.
solving it because y'all don't know the whole story.
You don't know the whole story. I know the whole story. We have a parent
you
that's
do
not
not know
taking
the whole
any
story.
responsibility for raising her 15-year-old.
You do not
And
know the
teaches
whole
her violence
story.
is
You
the
do not
way
know the
to
whole
solve
story.
problems. That's what we have here.
Y'all sitting up here letting April lie to y'all?
Nobody's
Somebody
taking
tell what
April's
she gotta
side.
say.
What's scary is we have a mother who teaches her daughter to solve
teaching me
problems
nothing.
with violence. And what an example you set for all these young teenage girls out there, Mom. You're setting a great example. Here we are trying to help teenage girls with their problems, and we have a mom that comes on the show and teaches her daughter violence is the way to solve problems. That's just great. That should be the story of the show. Parents that don't know how to raise children. I want to bring out April back out here. Now, April, Letitia, you know, obviously she has a different take on things. I really don't care. Two 15-year-old girls should not be fighting over nothing. If somebody is going to get physical with you, get violent with you, then you need to go to an adult. You need to go to a teacher, the principal, or your parents, and tell them, this is what's going on. I need help. Somebody out there is willing to help you. You don't have to be afraid to go to school. It's a shame that anybody is afraid to go to school, but you have to tell me, Steve, I'm going to be strong enough, and I'm going to go back to school, and I'm going to avoid Letitia. Can you do that for me?
Yes.
Very good.
I didn't think I would be the girl that had everything, now has to go on welfare. Because I was that girl that made fun of the girls that were on welfare when I was in school.
Does anybody here feel like you could be a mother right now? That's just about everybody. Teen mothers are less likely to complete high school and more likely to end up on welfare. Take a look at a clip of this past guest.
My son's father is on his life. He's denying the baby, and he has ruined my life. I have no job, no education. I quit school for him. I lost my family because of him, because I ran away with him. He ruined everything I had. Everything I had is gone. I have nothing now. A year into our relationship, he ended up running away and contacting me and saying, if you love me, you run away with me. And of course, I ran away with him. Well, we ended up sleeping outside, rain, snow. When he got mad, you know, he would slap me in the face, you know, put me down. He came back and told me, "You're pregnant." So then it felt like, oh great, you know, I have nowhere to stay and everything. So I called him and he said, "Oh, I gotta call you back." 2 hours later, he called me back and told me that he doesn't want to be with me no more.
You're certain that he's the father of your child?
Yes.
Because it possibly couldn't be anybody's, you're saying.
Right.
Today, he took a DNA test. What happens if you find out he is the father? He's the father of your child.
I want him to man up, be a man.
Yeah, I slept with her, but I met her when she was 16.
Did you ask this girl to run away from home?
I don't know. Get out of my face with that. I was sitting there.
First of all, do not address me that way. Do you understand? This is the way he talks and addresses people?
Now,
This is the guy that you fell in love with I mean, I'm 5 seconds into this guy, okay? 5 seconds, and I don't like him already. Oh, my Lord. The results of the DNA test for your child is that Kenny is not the father.
I told you. Stop claiming me that father.
I am sorry.
You don't know who the father of this child is? Is that what you're saying?
I wish I could take it all back, but I can't.
Welcome back to the show, Grace. You're 18 years old. You're a teen mother. That was a difficult show to do.
Yes, it was.
Tell me your story.
I was 15 years old, a normal kid. Had a roof over my head, family, straight A student, and a job. Well, during that, I met a boy, and he told me, you know, you can have everything in the world. You know, I love you, and I want to be with you. Started going out with him. Year into our relationship, we ran away. Sleeping outside for 6 days with no food, no shelter. It was very hard because all he did was call me up and say, if you love me, you'll run away with me. And of course, I dropped everything right then, stolen from my mom to go and be with him.
And how old were you at the time when you met him?
I was 15.
15.
Yeah. So we ended up breaking into an abandoned house and getting busted by the police. And then they took me home and I ran away again. And during that, I ended up getting sick, very sick. I ended up knocking on a stranger's door because he left me. You know, I didn't know where he was, and knocking on a stranger's door asking, you know, help me. You know, I don't know what's wrong with me. It's very hard, and I felt embarrassed, you know, knocking on somebody's door just asking for help, but I did it. He took me to the hospital. They asked me if I could possibly be pregnant. Of course, they tested me, and when they came back and told me that I was pregnant, I'm like, me pregnant? Honestly, I was one of the girls that said, oh, I can't get pregnant. That couldn't happen to me. That felt like a kick in the stomach.
Why were you one of those girls? Why would a girl say that can't happen to me?
Why? I mean, because you think, you know, you're playing it safe, but you're not.
How were you playing it safe?
Once in a while condoms. That's what I thought.
Once in a while?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
You thought that
Yeah.
was playing it safe?
Yeah. And sitting in that room by yourself, and I was alone. I had nobody. My family, I didn't even talk to my family for a year. Like, I had nobody. I called up my mom after a year, not talking to her. She did not believe it was me, because I didn't talk to my mom for a year. She literally thought I was probably dead. Then she told me, I told her I was pregnant, and then she told me, you're not coming home. I don't trust you in my house. That hurt so bad that my mother would say that. She don't even feel like I'm her daughter.
Hey, Crystal, how old are you?
I'm 17. My son is 3 years old.
So you were 14 when you had a baby?
So I was about to have the baby, and I'm going in all alone. I'm alone. I have nobody by my side. And they told me, we don't want your baby to scream or breathe when he comes out, because he might swallow his stool. He took a stool at me, and that could harm him very badly. So I pushed him out, and he didn't scream, and he wasn't breathing, and they did some suctions and stuff, and they said, okay, he's okay for right now. We got to keep a close eye on him. When I got to hold him, I didn't know what I was going to do. I still had nobody. I didn't have a job. I didn't have education to even get a job because I threw it all away for some boy that I thought loved me and I loved him, that could give me everything I wanted. I had to go on welfare to provide for me and my son. I didn't think I would be the girl that had everything now has to go on welfare, because I was that girl that made fun of the girls that were on welfare when I was in school.
That's your son?
Yep. Each day I gotta make that decision, pay a bill, buy my baby diapers. I don't get new clothes. I don't get to buy things for myself because I have to buy for my son. I gotta put my son first before myself. I don't get to go out and have, friends. I really don't even have friends because all my friends drop me because I have to take care of a baby. I can't go out and party. I can't go out and go to the mall or the movies. I can't because I got a son to take care of. I had to grow up in an instant. I'm a baby that has a baby. I literally have to really decide, do I want to pay my electric bill and get it, done and over with, or buy my son diapers, clothes that fit him? I make that decision every month. You have a son. My son relies on me to live every day. He relies on me to feed him, bathe him, diapers, clothes, roof over his head. The thing that scares me most each month is okay, is he going to have a roof over his head next month? Am I going to be able to provide for him? That hurts more than anything, not to know if I'm going to be able to afford what he needs. If any girl, that says, oh, I can handle a kid, I can handle a kid, and no, you can't. I can't. If I can't even provide for myself, what makes you think I can provide for a baby? I struggle day to day, not knowing what tomorrow's going to bring, not knowing if things are going to be harder or easier. And that hurts.
What would you like to say to all these young girls at home watching who are teenagers like yourself having unprotected sex?
Stop having sex, period. Condoms and birth control are never 100%. Never. And no matter how much you think you're being safe, you're not. Stay in school. School gets you a job. School gets you money that you can provide for yourself and maybe down the road a family. I lost all that because I wanted to have my fun. Even when I ran away, I didn't go off with all my friends, I got into drugs and alcohol. I got all those bad habits that led me into bad directions, that led me to have a baby, to have nowhere, to have nothing. You guys, you have a roof over your head. You don't have to worry about, do I have food in my refrigerator? Oh, do I have to pay this bill? You guys don't have to worry about that. You guys really don't know how lucky you guys are. Because you guys, when you step in my shoes, think for a minute, if you didn't have a roof over your head when you go home, or you don't have food in your refrigerator when you go home, or you don't get new clothes every other week or every month. Because you don't get that. When you have a baby, you don't get that. You don't get your hair done, your nails done, your eyebrows done. You don't get none of that. It's not all fun and games. I learned the hard way. I still don't talk to my mom. And I hope my mom watches this show because I love my mom to death. And I burned all bridges with her.
If your mom was here, what would you say to her?
I'm sorry. And there's no words to say how sorry I am. I sit in bed and think, oh, what happens if my mom was with me? What happens if I would have listened to my mom? I love her so much. She was my best friend through my whole life. She has bent over backwards for me. And I literally treated her like dirt. I really wish me and my mom would have that same connection like we did. And I don't have that no more.
I don't get, you know, I really wish that my mom still tucked me in bed. I wish my mom would kiss me goodnight. I wish my mom would give me rules. I miss my mom's rules. I really do. Because I know if I would have followed those rules and actually obeyed them, I wouldn't be where I am right now.
What would you like to say to all these young girls?
Stop having sex, period.
Well, obviously this show is about helping teen girls to avoid the pitfalls of life that happen to you, things that can happen to teenage girls, and obviously it's something that you can convey to other teenage girls much better than I can, so I want to say thank you for sharing your story. So the girls in the audience, you hear Grace talking about how difficult it is to be a teen mother, and how many of you girls out there know of a teen girl that is sexually active? That's just about everybody. How many of you know a teen girl that was or is pregnant? That's just about everybody. Does anybody here feel like you could be a mother right now? So you are a mother. Do you want? Is it difficult for you now, as a teenager, to be a mother? First of all, what's your name?
My name is Crystal.
Crystal. And Crystal, how old are you?
I'm 17.
You're 17.
My son is 3 years old.
Your son is 3 years old.
Yes.
So you were 14 when you had a baby?
I got pregnant at 13. I had him when I was 14.
You were pregnant at 13 and you
Yes.
had your baby at 14.
Yes, I did.
And what's your experience been like since being a mother, since the age of 14?
Well, it's been difficult, but I've been having my mom by my side. You know, she doesn't, it's kind of hard for her too to help me out, but she does as much as she can. But it's still it's a struggle.
Could you have done it by yourself?
I can't really say. I mean, I've been trying, you know, I do a lot for my son regardless, and I take care of him.
I don't doubt that for a second, but I'm saying when you had your baby at 14, could you have done it by yourself?
I don't think I would have probably been able to, but if I had to, I would have.
Right. And what would your advice be? Like you hear Grace talking about her situation. What would your advice be to a young girl, 14 years old, having unprotected sex?
There's consequences, and one is, you know, having a child, and it's very hard, and as well as she said, you don't get to do or, you know, appreciate what you have as far as living at home, being able for your parents to provide for you and help you out, and you know, you have a lot more advantage. And when you have a child, you have a lot of responsibility, and you don't get to enjoy your childhood as much as you can now if you don't have a kid. And you know, just use protection if that's what you plan to do, is, you know, be sexually active. And you know, there's consequences though, and it's hard.
Would you say a good piece of advice is not to be sexually active when you're a teenage
Yes, actually, yeah. Don't try your best not to be until you're older and you know you can handle it, and if you do become a parent, and you can provide for them and yourself as well.
Crystal, I want to thank you very much for sharing your story. If somebody feels they're ready to be a mother that doesn't have a baby, so nobody feels ready who doesn't have a baby. Do you have, right, we're saying if you don't have a baby, do you feel you're ready to be a mother? Is anybody out there? You feel you're ready to be a mother? Can I ask your name?
Yeah, Tiara.
Tiara? And how old are you, Tiara?
I'm 14.
You're 14. And you feel you're ready to be a mother?
No, I'm not saying I'm ready. I'm saying that if I had to, I could. I've raised my 4 little sisters.
Babysitting is totally different than being a mother.
No, my
It
mom.
has nothing to do with being a mother. A babysitter, I could watch my brothers and sisters all I want, and it'd be nothing compared to mother and baby. You are not ready, especially at 14, because I'm still not ready. It's like to say now, if I didn't have, I could say no, I don't want a baby. I don't know, no, because babysitting is way different, because you have to wake up every time the baby cries at night. You got to be up.
You got to be ready. You got to know things. Like, I still learn today. I still have to take parenting classes today because I don't know. You are really not ready to have a baby. There's
Tiara,
even
you
to have.
say you could raise a baby.
I could. If, like, I mean, I couldn't do it, like, with money and everything and the bills, but I'm
You
saying...
couldn't do it with money. If you couldn't do it with
I'm
money,
saying,
how
like,
would you
if
do
I had
it?
my mom there and everything.
Oh, with your mom. Do you want a baby?
Not really. Like,
Not really.
eventually.
Well, sure, I think all women have that feeling. And someday I hope that you wait until you're in an adult relationship and you have somebody that's committed to, because the other lesson that, excuse me, that Grace is telling, it's not just about having a baby. And if you saw the clip, she picked a boy over her own family. She picked to run away, to be on the streets, because she thought a boy loved her. And he was really a bad guy. And this is something that I knew just 5 seconds of meeting the guy, whether he turned out to be the father or not. She, and I don't mean to be harsh on you, but you kind of threw your mother away for this boy.
And I really do regret it. If you have your mom, and your mom should be your best friend, no matter what.
Thank you. I certainly hope today, doing the show, it is for the benefit, maybe selfish reasons for myself, to become a better father to my own daughter, knowing like my police officers that I've worked with for years that work on the show, they started younger than me, and they scare me because they say when their daughters become teenagers, watch out. And so I think I did this show a little bit for selfish reasons, wanting to know how I can avoid some of the things that you have all expressed to me about pregnancy, about being able to speak to your child, to having open lines of communication. And I hope I learned a little bit from you, and I hope you certainly learned some things from these stories that people shared today on the show.